What's up everyone, I'm IAMOBG for TastingSkills.com. Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about Evan Williams Bottled in Bond White Label. So what does bottled in bond actually mean? It means it has to be aged a minimum of 4 years in New American Charred Oak. Barrel entry cannot be more than 125, and bottling has to be at 100. Now, who is Evan Williams? Evan Williams is actually a Welsh immigrant that came to America in the late 18th century. It is said that he established his distillery in 1783 in modern-day Kentucky, Louisville. But is that true? Well, there is some proof that it actually did not come till 1794. And the actual first distillery established that was commercial in Kentucky was in 1892. But we're never gonna actually find out who was the first, who wasn't. That's not really the goal. The goal is that this is the story. But actually, Evan Williams started in 1957, and this is owned by Heaven Hill Distillery. Now, this is the second largest sold brand after Jim Beam in 2010. So this is a big brand, and they do make a lot of different whiskeys. They make several labels. So what is actually in the bottle? Well, the mash bill is 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley, and it enters a New American Charred Oak level 3 at the maximum allowed 125 proof. So let's take a look at all the different labels here, and we're gonna start with, of course, the Evan Williams green label. This is proof at 80 or 40 ABV, and this is a minimum of 4 years. This is a real steal. It sells for $10. Then we have the white label that is bottled in bond that I'm holding in my hand today. And as you guessed it, it's also a 4-year minimum. Now this retails for about $15. Then we have the black label that is proof at 86 or 43 ABV. Now this used to be a minimum of 7 years in the late 90s all the way to 2000. Now it's 4 years minimum, and it retails for under $20. Then we have the single barrel at 86 proof or 43 ABV, and this one's a minimum of 4 to 5 years old, and it retails between $40 to $60 depending on the market that you're in. Then we have the 1783, also proofed at 86 or 43 ABV, is between 6 to 8 years old, but in the late 90s to 2000, this was a minimum of 10 years, and this retails for $25 on average. Then we have the red label that is proof at 101 or 50.5 ABV, and this is a minimum of 12 years old. This retails between 130 all the way to 500. And finally, we have the big bad boy, the 23-year-old that comes in at 107 proof or 53.5% ABV, and this retails between $350 all the way to $1,500 that I saw on the internet, which is absolutely crazy. The packaging, I mean, it's just classic. It's simple. You get the classic, you know, sticker from the TTB or back then the ATF or whatever you want to call it, with the 100 proof, with the in bond. I mean, does it need an updating? It does and it doesn't. I mean, this is just an iconic, classic package. I mean, you get the simple twist off, but what are you expecting here? This is $15 for bottled in bond. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat at this point. Evan Williams is just so good for the money, and it's everywhere. Like, you can find this every corner store, grocery, high-end liquor store, you name it. This is just a staple. All right, so let's take a look at the tasting notes here. But before that, do you want to taste like a pro? Head over to TastingSkills.com, put your name and email into the magical yellow box, and I will send you my free 17-page guide to the fundamentals of tasting. But not only that, if you want to get a nice sober hat or a sexy t-shirt, then when you're at checkout in the shop at TastingSkills.com, you can put the promo code IAMOBG and shipping will be free. All right, let's jump into this bad boy, Evan Williams White Label Bottled in Bond. On the color, we get it this beautiful, nice amber color. On the nose, this is well concentrated and is just really beautiful as it gives you layers of delicate caramel, honey, charred oak, cherry, cedar box, tobacco, and the alcohol isn't too high. This just has great balance. On mouthfeel, it's delicate and rich with caramel notes that deliver quality wood tannin that turns into all of the these layers of the caramel, the orange peel, the cherries, that turns into this long finish that is spicy. Now, this is just such a steal for the money. Is this a buy? This is an absolute buy. This is a staple. I mean, this is usually right at the top when we talk about Kentucky straight bourbon, especially in Bond. For the money, it's pretty much unbeatable. I don't think that there's anything that comes close to this when it comes to value for the money. This is just so good. I'm always impressed every time that I have this. I can't believe that it's just 15 bucks. That's the really crazy part when I look at all of this, because once it's in the glass, you could put that against pretty much anything out there. And if you're doing blind tasting, you have to put this in. This is gonna confuse everybody. Everybody's gonna give this a lot higher score. They're gonna think it's worth $40, $50, $60, like easily. This is just a great purchase. And this is an ongoing series that I'm doing on Evan Hill, so you should subscribe. Otherwise, my friend, like I always say, please remember, stay sober. Peace.